All right, we're here with another short episode of NoKayFabin.com with the famous Geena Jinev Anac, knocking out another episode of No Kayfabin.
Hello everyone. I have a few questions of my own for Kevin Nash. After your basketball career was over, you worked at the 202nd Military Police Company in Gießen, Germany, and served in a secure NATO facility for 2 years. What was that experience like?
It was 3 years.
Okay.
3 years. Well, I can say that the one thing that was good about the military was that it gave me a basis for institutionalization. So when I did go to jail later in my life, I was used to it. Military life was, I'm OCD. I'm OCD as a motherfucker. So I got there and I learned in the military really early if you're a strapped troop, if you keep a spit shine on your boots, if you just abide by the rules, play the game, and I enjoyed my job. I mean, I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed my time in the Army. I thought it was a real growing experience for me. I became a man. I became responsible. Became very disciplined. And I think all the things that I learned during those 3 years in the Army propelled me to the success I had later in life.
Wow, because that's so interesting, because Scott Hall told me you're very disciplined because of the Army and you know where to put things, and when you leave town, you never leave anything behind, you're so organized. Yes.
I'm so anal, but it is what it is.
It helps you with yes, that's good. You're pretty good as an actor. I mean, did you take any acting lessons?
I think that we as human beings, we act on a daily basis.
As is necessary.
Right. We act like we're surprised at a surprise birthday party. We act like we like the sweater that our aunt gets us. I mean, I think that we're preconditioned to be actors, and there's a difference between stage acting and motion picture acting. But to me, to be able to act, it really comes down to. I found that I've always had my best performances due to the quality of the director. Who's ever directing you, if the direction is precise and concise, and he tells you exactly what he wants, and then you give him 1 or 2 takes, and he says, "Let's try this." I mean, that's basically. I mean, it's just, and pro wrestling helps you because it's nobody does more live TV than us. I mean, I think pro wrestlers get such a bad rap when it's in essence it's like we're the best one-take guys in the world.
That's true.
We get one take. Our shit's live, and it's live for 3 hours. And it's just, very underrated.
Who are your favorite directors to work with?
Well, I mean, so far, I absolutely. If I never do another motion picture in my life, I had the privilege of working with Steve Soderbergh. So I think he's one of our. If he really does. If he really does. Decide to not direct anymore, I think that it would be a shame, because it'd be like Picasso stopping at 30 before he even started Cubism. But actually, like the first movie I ever worked on, I worked with a director, and his name was Michael Preston on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he that was my first direction, and he was a perfectionist, and God, just my fist coming through the dock was, my wife said to my knuckles were bleeding by the end of the shoot. For 7 hours, I busted my hand with this fake wood. So, I mean, it was, but it's such a different world, but it's such a, the thing about a motion picture is, you know that it's going to live forever. You know, if I'm dead and gone, Guard Engelhardt from The Longest Yard will always,
Yes.
after he takes his estrogen, he'll always live.
Yes, that was so funny. Any funny memories during the shoot of Magic Mike that you would like to share?
I mean, it's like anything else. It's like, you know, here we are, you know, a bunch of Channing, of course, you know, had the background,
Yes.
but the rest of us, I remember the first time we had 2 women choreographers, and we're at a dance studio, and first 2 days we were in our gym shorts and shit. We went through shit, and they said, tomorrow, heads up, we're going to dance in our underwear. No shirts.
Oh, okay, nice. Getting trained.
And it's just like, and all of a sudden, like, you walk in this room, and it's women, and, you know, even though they're there to teach you, it's still they're women, and you drop trow, you know, and it's just like, here's, you know, 6 guys that don't know each other going through dance moves in their underwear. It's like,
pretty fun.
yeah, I mean, it's not something that, I remember it was so good, the premiere for Magic Mike was kind of epic in the sense that it was the last film shown during the LA Film Festival. And Steven got up and he asked each of the guys that were in the dance group to stand up. And he said, please give these guys a round of applause. He says, because these guys, they really, this is so far out of most of these guys' comfort zone. And they did it. They just said, fuck it, and they did it. And I know that I was talking to my wife with Matt Damon and Michael Douglas, and when they played this, the Liberace and the Lover, and Steven knew that they had to fucking accept it, they had to take it, and they had to live the part. And when you have a director he's so fucking chill and so intellectual, yet he's probably the only director on earth that I'll ever meet that's seen a movie called Bad Boy Bubby. It's just a fucking disturbing film. And it's just like, he's a Atlanta guy, but I mean, I feel blessed to have worked with Steven.
How does it feel to be working with such a great actors like Tom Cruise, Alec Baldwin, Adam Sanders, and taking, like, what kind of experience do you take from every actor that you work with? Learning process?
Same as wrestling.
Yeah.
When you break into wrestling, it's just like, you know, one of my favorite personal actors is Paul Giamatti, who was on Rock of Ages with me, and I got a chance to spend some time with him. But you would think that Paul was an absolute natural actor, but Paul is not an improv actor.
Right.
Paul is amazing off script. He can play. He can find a character. It's just not an improv. He's not that improv actor. Where Adam Sandler is the opposite. Adam's a complete improv actor. McConaughey consumed that part. Channing Tatum, effortlessly one of the most likable people on the planet, and it comes across on film. Tom Cruise never really left the Stacey Jacks mode during the movie, because he wasn't comfortable. I think it was such a reach for him to play that part
Right.
that he had to keep the reins tight, but at the same time was a really professional, really good. Like, again, you hear a lot of stories about Tom Cruise, and it's just like, personally, he was aces. He was we talked football. He was a dude. He was a good guy, and he didn't have no, Pharaoh complex or anything else. I felt very comfortable around Tom.
That's really good. Do you think your height and your physique limits you in certain characters?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's so many times that they know, and I've lowered my height to 6'9" on
Right.
my IMDb, because 6'10" and 6'9" just it looks like 6'10" looks, so that 1 inch. I mean, it's well.
It's an inch.
Ask any woman, an inch is a lot. So,
That's true.
but it's one of those situations where I walk in someplace, and I walked in. I was reading for a part of a guy called Anton. He was a 7-foot Russian.
Oh yeah.
And it was the
Punisher.
no.
Oh no.
This is a different
Oh,
movie. This was
okay.
Antonio Banderas.
Oh.
And I mean, I walked up and down the beach, and I watched a thing with Robin Williams. And Robin Williams had to do a Russian accent. And he said when he was a kid, he would go into the city in New York, and there was a Russian section, and they would sell these lacquer boxes.
Right.
But they would ask you, please, buy me a lacquer box, buy me a lacquer box. He said anytime he wants to find a Russian accent, he just says lacquer box 3 times. Just say lacquer box, lacquer box, lacquer box. How are you? What
Right.
are you doing?
Yes.
And that's how he finds this Russian dialect. And it's just like, those are the things in life, when you listen to that, just like, so I mean, I nailed this. I nailed this thing. I got a call back out. I'm thinking, I'm going to get this part. I'm 6'9". The guy when the breakdown came for the film, the guy was 7 foot, and the lady looks at me, she goes, "We love you, you're just too big."
Oh.
Wait, I said, how the fuck am I too big? I'm 6'9". I was supposed to be 7 foot casted.
Yes.
But in their minds, when the guy writes it, it's one thing. When you put that person next to Antonio Banderas, it's just like
Towering over.
that's like no, that's
Not gonna happen.
maybe 6'4".
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, is there any movie role that you wish you played that you like? It's like kind of your favorite that you wish that you'd had that part.
I wish if I could play any part, I would play the original Dirty Harry.
Oh, that's cool.
I would.
Why?
I just think that he took that whole spaghetti western run, and just I tweeted about it a couple of nights ago when I watched it. I said, Dirty Harry is so simplistic, so realistic, yet so effective, because it's just like it's such a raw film. It's just it's timeless, and I think like me and Triple H both always wanted to play Conan. I thought that Paul would have been a great Conan.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
thought he would have been a great Conan
That's true.
because he was healthy. I wasn't healthy enough to play the part, but he was.
That's
I could have definitely fought him and have him kill me.
well. If you had the chance to He's stranded in an island, and you have to take one of the clique members. Who would be and why?
I can only take one of the clique
Just
members.
one, and for the rest of your life, you're stuck with that clique member.
X-Pac.
Who would- Yeah. Why?
By far the most diversified of probably the five of us, he's Sean Waltman is a fucking hipster. Period. He is, man. He's just a fucking, he's a hipster, man. He's a hip fucking dude, man. Yeah. Because the rest of them, I mean, if me and Paul had a weight room, fucking, we'd be
Yeah,
great.
working out
Yeah,
together.
if me and Sean could, shoot guns, that would be great. If Scott and I are real compatible too, but we're too alpha and too close in size to who's gonna fucking make the fire, who's gonna cook, and
Oh yeah, taking
yeah,
charge.
it's just that'd be a nightmare.
Well, that's funny. I have a quote for you from Jim Morrison, from The Doors. He said, "Whoever controls the media controls the mind." How true is that today?
Oh, jeez. Look at Fox News. Look at the fucking people that watch that are fucking so fucking brainwashed. Or MSNBC. I mean, it's just like MSNBC is the fucking, and because I'm Democratic, it's the Union. Fox News is the fucking the Confederate. CNN is corporate. If you really want to get fucking news, you've got to get BBC, but you can't get BBC America.
Yes.
You got to get like BBC. Like that's the closest thing you're gonna. You know, when Gore was gonna sell fucking, I don't know if it went through yet, but was gonna sell to Al Jazeera. I thought that might be a nice fucking a change to maybe get some actual fucking news.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible that 6 people died in Oklahoma. But
Yes.
in the last 2 years, 70,000 Syrians have died in a bullshit fucking battle over a dictator, and it's just like we mourn the death of 6, yet 44 people are blown up in Iraq or in Afghanistan. It's just like we stuck our noses in these places and lit off powder kegs, and now we're just going to pull out and leave these fucking shitholes. And it's just like I just get tired of it. I get tired of the bullshit. So it's just like I don't think the media doesn't cover our bullshit enough. And at the same point, they make such a big deal about the IRS going after the IRS went after Tea Party applications because they were like 75 to 1 of who was trying to become nonprofit, and they weren't nonprofit; they were basically politically backed. So that's a bullshit thing. Benghazi, they keep saying they attacked our fucking embassy, and it was a consulate. It was like a fucking garage. It's like you can make news out of anything and everything.
That's true.
It's just like it's how you and I right now could sit down and watch the news and skew it any way we want to make it our political belief. Jim Morrison was fucking brilliant.
Genius, ahead of his time.
Yes.
Well, yeah. What is the most misunderstood thing about you?
People think I'm a nice guy. I'm a fucking prick. No. Most misunderstood thing about me. A lot of people don't like me. That are, I mean, business in my business, because like people have the tendency to do this like kind of stupid thing of asking a question. And when you ask a question, I was brought up that you answer it how you feel.
That's true.
And it's just like, so my whole thing is, and I'll quote my partner Scott Hall. If you don't want the truth, don't fucking ask me a question.
Well said. Well said. Any upcoming movie projects that you have that you would like to share with your fans?
I'm hoping to sign by Wednesday, and I don't know what the actual working title is going to be. It was going to be called Country Velvet or Nashville Route 65, but I'm going to play the lead actor's father, who's an ex-fighter.
Oh.
And it'll be probably about an 8-week shoot. Orlando, Nashville, and oh god, what's the other city? I'm brain dead. But it'll be probably 8 weeks. 8 weeks. 8 weeks. And it's a good role. They got Tom Berenger, Leanne Rains is.
He's good.
Dolly Parton's going to do some stuff on it, so it's going to be. I think it's going to be a really nice film.
Are you involved in any businesses outside of wrestling or movies? Any?
I have my own. My company is Spartacus Entertainment. That's the company that I do, and we have not jumped into the endeavor yet, but we're very, very close into doing our first short. And as you spoke earlier, you made reference to the size limitations.
Yes.
And, if Tyler Perry can do it, I can do it.
Wearing the dress?
I won't wear the
Even
dress.
that.
I'll just do my own shit.
That's true.
And you know what? Because you can be a 6-foot dentist, and you can be a 6-foot, 10-foot dentist.
That's true. As long as you do it right.
Absolutely.
That's true.
As LL Cool J said back in the day, doing it well. So.
That's what it's all about. That's true. Well, thank you for sharing.
That's it?
That's it. That was my questions.
Thank you, my dear.
It's been a pleasure.
Nice.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure for me.
NoKFaming.com, we out. Kevin Nash. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, man.
I'm OCD. I'm OCD as a motherfucker. So I got there and I learned in the military really, really early. If you're a strapped troop, if you keep a spit shine on your boots, if you just abide by the rules, play the game, and I enjoyed my job. I mean, I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed my time in the Army. I thought it was a real growing experience for me. I think I became a man. I became responsible. Became very disciplined. And I think all the things that I learned during those 3 years in the Army propelled me to the success I had later in life.
Wow, because that's so interesting, because Scott Hall told me you're very disciplined because of the Army and you know where to put things, and when you leave town, you never leave anything behind, you're so organized. Yes.
I'm so anal, but it is what it is.
It helps you with yes, that's good. You're pretty good as an actor. I mean, did you take any acting lessons?
I think that we as human beings, we act on a daily basis.
As is necessary.
Right, we act like we're surprised at a surprise birthday party. We act like we like the sweater that our aunt gets us. I mean, I think that we're preconditioned to be actors, and we're the best one-take guys in the world.
That's true.
You know, we get one take. Our shit's live, and it's live for 3 hours. And it's just, you know, very underrated.
Who are your favorite directors to work with?
Well, I mean, so far, I mean, I absolutely. If I never do another motion picture in my life, I had the privilege of working with Steve Soderbergh. So
Yeah.
I think he's one of our. You know, if he really does. If he really does. Decide to not direct anymore, I think that it would be a shame, because it'd be like Picasso stopping at 30 before he even started Cubism.
All right, we're here with another short episode of NoKayFabin.com with the famous Geena Jinev Anac, knocking out another episode of No Kayfabin.
Hello everyone. I have a few questions of my own for Kevin Nash. After your basketball career was over, you worked at the 202nd Military Police Company in Gießen, Germany, and served in a secure NATO facility for 2 years. What was that experience like?
It was 3 years.
3, okay.
3 years. Well, I can say that the one thing that was good about the military was that it gave me a basis for institutionalization. So when I did go to jail later in my life, I was used to it. Military life. I mean, there's a difference between stage acting and motion picture acting. But to me, to be able to act, it really comes down to. I found that I've always had my best performances due to the quality of the director. So who's ever directing you, if the direction is precise and concise, and he tells you exactly what he wants, and then you give him 1 or 2 takes, and he says, "Let's try this." I mean, that's basically. I mean, it's just, and pro wrestling helps you, because it's, you know, nobody does more live TV than us. I mean, I think pro wrestlers get such a bad rap when it's in essence it's like